So each week we have a different guiding principle. And this very first week, we felt it was really important to start with acknowledgement. Because if we're going to end this journey feeling complete, we need to start this journey by being honest with ourselves and acknowledging the reality of where we are. And each of us are in a different spot. We've had different experience, different loss, different pain, and all of them are as legitimate as the square next to us. So when we think about that tearing of cloth when someone dies, it changes something from whole to broken. And each of you have this cloth, and as families, we're going to take the opportunity this week to acknowledge those losses, to acknowledge the hurt for not getting to celebrate a graduation or any of the different things that the rabbi mentioned. And we're going to use this cloth as that visual representation, and we're going to physically create space, and we're going to physically tear. We're going to make the holes on the outside that maybe we're feeling on the inside. There are lots of different ways that you might make a hole. You might tear, you might cut. Some of your broken might seem larger and need a bigger gap. Ultimately, if we start with acknowledgement and we end with the holidays and a sense of wholeness, we have to, after we've broken our cloth and we've acknowledged those pieces that are in need of repair, we're going to go through the process of repairing this cloth. And it's going to be different for each and every one of us. For some of us, there might still be a gap left behind because whatever that hole is that got created, it's not fully sewn up. But we are going to go through a mending process with this cloth. And hopefully, in starting with acknowledgement and healing this piece of cloth, we might start to heal ourselves. So when that's over, in fact, before you even got this cloth, about a dozen different people have already started the work to take the bolts of fabric apart so that we could each have a square. Once we have gone through that healing process together, we're going to collect all of these. And they're all going to look different, and some of them will be a little bit more gnarly than others, and that's good. Then we're going to take these and we are going to weave them together, because at the end of the day, much like these boxes, we hold each other up from side to side. And we're going to move from those boxes on a screen one day to being together, physically holding each other up. And we're going to take these boxes, these squares, and we're going to weave them together and create a chuppah of healing. And when we gather, God willing, next high holidays, we will stand underneath it and celebrate our resiliency in a time of so much unknown, that we were able to grasp onto those around us, to weave our stories together with our neighbors. And we are going to sing, and we are going to dance, and we are going to remind ourselves that we came through a really scary time, and we will come through that scary time as a community. So we're going to talk more in the coming weeks about how we're going to mend this, but I want you to start this week by taking some time to start to tear and to see what are the holes inside of you that you're going to represent here. A reminder, don't throw any piece of it out. If it ends up being in pieces, hold on to it, because like I say, we want to put ourselves back together. And don't cut a corner off, because eventually the more of the center portion is what's going to become that chuppah of healing. So the edges will eventually get taken off so that all of them are the same shape, the same size. I look forward to that day. A time will come when we can stand hand in hand, arm in arm, underneath these representations of our brokenness and eventually our healing. May that day come soon, and may we dream of that day and hold on to it tight.